Hi there, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I will show you how to create a search bar with autocomplete functionality using only HTML, CSS and JavaScript. No external libraries required. Autocomplete is a great feature for enhancing user experience by suggesting options while the user types. Here's a quick demo of what we'll be building. As you start typing, the suggestions will automatically pop up based on the data we provide, making it easier for user to find out what they are looking for. Clicking on one of the suggestions automatically fills the input field. We even added a feature where the suggestion disappears if you click outside the search area. This feature enhances user experience by providing suggestions. It's a fantastic way to improve site navigation. Don't miss out this fun and educational project, and I upload unique project videos every week. Please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. If you have any questions or suggestions, make sure to subscribe our channel Sarachandar K and hit that notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Your support means a lot. That helps me to create more content for you. Now let's dive into the code. Let's open this project folder in my favorite code editor, Visual Studio Code. Let me know your favorite and why in our comment box below. Inside the directory, I have already created index.html, style.css and script.js. Inside the index.html, I have added the HTML boilerplate with the help of exclamation mark. Along with that, I have changed the title to search bar with autocomplete by Sharat Chandar. And below, I have linked other two files with the help of link and script. Now, inside the body, we need to add the content for the search area. So for that, first I will add the div with the help of embed abbreviation with the help of class value search container. So I will use dot search container. If I hit enter, it will automatically created the div tag with the help of class attribute and then value of search container. Inside the div, I need to add the input tag. This will help us to type by the user. With the help of input type will be text and will set the ID for this with the help of name called search input and will set the placeholder of search and will set autocomplete off. This will not get that autocomplete value from the browser. And next thing we'll add one more div with the ID of autocomplete list and we'll set the class to this with the help of autocomplete items. Now let us see our HTML file in action. For that, in Visual Studio Code we have a extension called Go Live. Once we click, the tool will automatically load our project into the default browser. Here we can see the title of search bar with autocomplete by Sharat Chandar, and below we can see the input box with placeholder of search. And that's all for the HTML. Now we need to style this. For that, I need to jump to the style.css. First I will add the styles to the body with the help of element selector name called body and will set the font family as Arial and sans serif. And next thing I will set the background color to blue color. If I go to the browser, the tool will automatically reload the changes. That is how the live server will work. And next thing we'll add the styles to this search container with the help of class selector with dot and then value of search container. We'll set the position to relative and we'll set the width of 300 px and we'll set the margin top and bottom to 100 px, right and left to auto. If I save, if I go to the browser, now we can see the input box is placed to the center of the screen with the help of margin auto. Next thing, we'll add the styles to the search input with the help of ID. So previously we have added the styles to the element selector. This is for dot with class selector. For ID, we'll use for hash and then value of search input. We'll set the width of 100 percentage and we'll set the padding inner space to be 10 px and we'll set border 1 px solid with light gray color and we'll set the the border radius to 4px. If I save, if I go to the browser, we can see the border radius and then border color. Next thing, we'll add the styles to this. Autocomplete items with the help of dot with value. For this, we need to set the autocomplete items next to the search area. For that, I will use the position to absolute. This should set to next to the text area and we'll set the border of 1px solid and same like gray color, and we'll set border bottom to none, and we'll set the border top to none, and we'll set the z index to 99. This will help us to get this element on top of that input, and we'll set the top of 100 percentage, and we'll set the left of 2px, and we'll set right to 0, and we'll set the width of 105 percentage. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can't see that div because whenever user types, that time with the help of JavaScript will show the suggestions with the value of options with same autocomplete items. Inside this, we are going to append the div. For that div, we'll set the padding of 10px, and we'll set the cursor to pointer, and we'll set the background color to white, and we'll set the border bottom to 1px solid and same light gray color. And for this div of autocomplete items, whenever we set to over, we need to change the color of this. For that, I will set the over to this. For this over, we'll set the background color to gray color. Whenever this set to active, for that I will add one more class of autocomplete active. For this, we'll set the background color to gray color. If I save, if I go to the browser, as I said earlier, we can't see that. So whenever we type with the help of JavaScript, we can display that. For that, I need to jump to the script.js. First, we'll add the declarations. For that, we can use the document. Document is an owner of your web page. With the help of document, we can do the DOM manipulation. So document dot add event listener. So first, I will add the event listener of DOM content loaded. Inside this DOM content loaded, we are going to achieve that. So once this DOM content is loaded, then we'll add the const. I'm going to add the declaration of these two elements. First one as search input equal to document dot get element by id with the help of id value of search input. Here we can get this element with the help of id, class or attribute name. So second thing, we have the another autocomplete div. So for that, again I'm going to create one more const of declaration, same document dot get element by id with the help of id value autocomplete list. Now the next thing, I have some suggestions to display whenever the user types. For these suggestions, I have took all the programming languages like Angular, C Sharp, C and Go with much more. So whenever user types on this input, we'll get the suggestion value based on this array. For now, we have created this as a array. In later, we can connect with DB and we'll get that. The next thing, as I said, whenever user types, that time we need to get the suggestions. For that, we need to add the event listener with the help of search input dot add event listener of input with the help of function. Inside this, we'll check what we'll get. So as we have console.log to check this with the help of this. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on insert element, if I go to the input, if I type something, we'll get that entire input element. That is how the DOM tree will work. Instead of this, I will set to dot value. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I type txt, so based on the type, we'll get the value from that input. How simple is this, right? With the help of this value, we can get that above suggestions. So I will set this as a one more declaration of let input value equal to this value. This let will be a scope. It will execute inside this and will check if not of input value, then we'll set to return false. So whenever we get this value, that time only we need to check these suggestions, right? So for that, suggestions dot for each, inside this for each, I'm going to add function. Inside the function, I'm passing item as a parameter. Inside this, I'm going to write one more console dot log to check what that item contains. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I type, we'll get all the suggestion values inside that array. If I remove, will not get because this input is empty. So whenever we have the value, that time only this should appear. So if I type, it will get. If it is empty, will not get. So with the help of this for each, we are going to append that. So for that, if item dot to lowercase dot start with will get that input value dot to lowercase. Why we are using this as a lowercase? Because user may not have selecting as a and a. So here in suggestions, we have the first character as a. This should not break. So we are using as to lowercase to check the suggestions as well as the user types. So once this present, then we'll create one more div inside this JavaScript. So for that, I will create a let list item equal to document dot create element. This will help us to create element with the value of div. For this div, we are going to append the value. For that, list item dot inner HTML equal to, we are going to concatenate this value of string whatever we are getting with the help of strong. Strong is nothing about, it's just a bold character. We can use a strong or we can use a B on it. So I am using as a strong. As I said, I'm going to concatenate the string with the help of string concatenation and will set the item dot substring with start with 0 and will get the input value dot length. So here we are going to show whenever the user types based on that value, this should be present here. So once this present and these things, we need to append to that autocomplete list of div. So for that, we are having this autocomplete dot append child and we'll set the list item. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I type on a, we are not getting anything. Why? Because instead of substring, we'll get to substr. This will get a substring beginning the specified location instead of substring. So if I save, if I go to the browser, if I type on a, we'll go and check if anything is appended here. Inside this autocomplete, still it is empty. Why? Because we have typed, then it will come to inside this and here item dot lowercase dot with input value lowercase. So here we have missed the function bracket. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on a, we'll get that a and you or this is appending. So based on the type, if we clear, it will clear. So whenever we type, we need to clear everything, right? For that, I need to create one more function of function keyword and we'll set close or list. Inside this function, we'll add the while condition to check autocomplete list dot first child. If this first child is present, then we'll set autocomplete list dot remove child of that autocomplete list of first child. So whenever we get this as a first child, it will present inside this, then it will remove from here. So we need to call this function whenever we types. So after we'll get this input value, I will call this close or list. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I type on a, if I type on another a, this will remove. Previously it was appending all the values here. So if I type on c, we have a value. If I type on b, it is not displaying. Why? Because we don't have the suggestions with the value of b. So we need to show the entire text here, right? So for that, here after this suggestion of strong, we are going to display that entire characters. So again, string concatenation of value and inside that item dot again sub str and we are going to display the other input value dot length. So what this function will do, first it will pick based on the type. If it is present, it will get this value and it will set to bold characters. And in the suggestions, we have the other characters that are shown in normal view. Whenever we type based on the type which is present in the input, it will show it in the bold. For other characters, it will be in normal. So if I save, if I go to the browser, if I type on a, we'll get that a and then first character is set to bold and other character is normal. If I type b, we don't have the characters. If I type JavaScript, this entire text will be bold. If I delete, the text will be delete based on the characters from bold or normal, based on the user type. So if I click this, it is not going to anything. So whenever we click this value should be set on top of this input value. So for that, I need to create one more event listener of this list item dot add event listener of click with function, and inside this function we are going to set this search input dot value equal to item. Once we selected this, then we need to close all the list because we have clicked there. So if I save, if I go to the browser, if I type of Angular, if I click, it will place here, and then the pop-up list will be closed. Again, if I type of JavaScript, if I click, it will be closed from here. And again, whenever I type of JavaScript, if I click outside, this should be closed, right? So here now it is not closing. This is a one more functionality where the developer is missed, because whenever I will type and I will go for next option, still the pop-up will be displayed. That will be a simple solution with the help of document dot add event listener. We are going to add the click event of the entire window. Inside this window, we'll set if and we'll get this e as a target. So inside this e, we'll check what this e contains. So for that, I will use console.log of e. If I say, if I go to the browser here in the console, if I click somewhere, we'll get the pointer event. So with the help of this, we are going to close that. If e dot target not equal to search input, because whenever we click this should be open, right? Then this will be false state. So we are checking this pointer event is not clicking on that search input. And then once this is not clicked, and then we'll close the list with the help of this function. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I type on JavaScript, if I click here, it will not close. So if I click outside of this search input, then this will close. Again, I will type JavaScript. If it is JavaScript, if we click on top of that, this will fill. If I click on A, we'll get that Angular. Again, if I click for C, if I click on outside, this will be closed. I will type for T, there is no option. I will type for G, we have a Go. If I type for R, we have a Ruby and React. And that's it. We have successfully built a search bar with autocomplete functionality from scratch. This is a great addition to any website or application to help users find what they need faster. I hope you enjoyed building this search bar with autocomplete. It's a really useful feature that can enhance the user experience on any site. You can easily customize the suggestions array or integrate this feature into a large web applications. If you find this tutorial helpful, make sure to like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel Saraj Chandar K to watch more web development content. If you are interested in JavaScript projects like this, I have created and added a playlist of 52 weeks of 52 projects in JavaScript. Link in the description. Please do check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep coding and keep learning. See you in the next video. Happy coding. Bye for now. Have a nice day.